Okay, what's your name and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Jeff and I'm from Plum Island, Massachusetts.
Ah, the island.
Yeah, I'm a beach guy.
So we just watched Walmart, the high cost of low prices, and what did you think?
I think it's kind of tragic that these folks in developing countries, like China or other countries, India, are treated so poorly. They work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day for minimal amounts of money. In some cases,
they wash out of a bucket because they can't afford a shower.
They can't afford a shower. I mean, they're being held almost captive. They're living in facilities that are provided by the company. And what they were saying was the food is awful, so they have to take their meager savings to go buy real food just to survive. I mean, it's very
And if they move out, they don't have to pay utility, but they still have to pay rent to the company.
Right, if they move out, they still have to pay rent. I mean, it's colonial, and it's a tragedy. And I'm not sure what we can do if just by boycotting Walmart is a solution. I think we have to do that, but we also have to talk to our representatives in Congress to say, we can't have a most favored nation status with China, or we can't have a most favored nation status with India until they have more humanitarian kind of issues with their workers.
Because you know something, they sold us NAFTA based on the fact that it would raise the standard of living in Mexico. Now this is just one example, and I understand China and India are different. But if this is what's happening in the name of free trade, no one's standard of living is being raised outside this country.
Right. It's becoming free slavery versus free trade.
Yeah.
And that's tragic. I don't think when Americans go to Walmart to buy products for their children or products, back to school items, that they have any concept at all that there's people in China working 12 hours a day, making 18 cents an hour to provide these items for them at such a low cost.
Right, the human suffering that it took to put that item on the shelf.
Right, exactly. I think people need to be aware of how low prices come about, how the smiley face is created for them. I think it's, I understand, capitalism, and you go for the best prices, and you do this, you do that. I think America should be more about humanity and less about the capitalism
And it
side
didn't seem like too much free market in there. It didn't seem like too much competition. They use their size to come in and just blight a community. Then there's no competitors. It's all unfair business practice.
Absolutely, and that's the local side. That's the local losses.
That's how they started out.
You look where they land, and of course the local Woolworths or the local Five and Dimes are going to last a year or two, and that would be the tragedy. That's for me here in Newburyport.
Because we have such a beautiful, beautiful downtown and strong, vibrant business community.
But I would much rather shop locally, whether it's food or whether it's just to get, Christmas gifts, whatever it is that I need. I will go locally before I would go to Walmart's, which thankfully for us at this point is in Seabrook.
But we have a very nice downtown, and I think that's an excellent point that whenever you have that opportunity, you should try and keep it local.
Absolutely. People have to understand that paying 50 cents more for an item, how it's sold, where it's sold, and the effect of the people that is, who's working there is much more important. Because
that money stays in your community. The money that goes into Walmart goes straight into Bentonville, Arkansas.
Absolutely right, and it's making all of the family members, as we saw tonight from Walmart, richer. They're all billionaires, and they could give it to them about the rest of us. It's all about more money flowing up. As much as they claim to be community-oriented, I don't see that. And this film represented that. They're not. It's all a facade. It's all about, marketing.
He used all those glossy commercials.
Right.
And he just cut them in the perfect place to show how hypocritical they are.
Absolutely. And, again, it's a mixture of Walmart's practices and our government not really following up to make sure that what the United States companies represent in the world is more humanistic, compassionate,
a good example,
national organization.
an example of what's possible or what you want to emulate, not what Wal-Mart is doing.
I mean, are we hypocritical that we're going around the world like Iraq and saying, "Look, we're such a wonderful democracy. You should be just like us."
We want to bring this to you.
Meanwhile, we're just like pardon my language, we're screwing the rest of the world. But in the meantime, you got to be like us because we're the best there is. I mean, you can't be hypocritical and say we are the model of democracy for the world, but our capitalist background lets us do these foul things to people all over the world. I mean, if you're going to walk the walk, you've got to really walk the walk. I think our president's just completely let us down for the last 8 years on so many levels. And an oversight of companies like Wal-Mart is just one of them. That's the tip of the iceberg. So that's my 30 seconds of fame.
Thank you very much for speaking to me, Jeff.
You're welcome.